Oh! We're live after the fight in the Stableside Tavern, where you fought many undead, but they were more keen than the average zombie. And they were wearing good armor and they had good arms. After this immediately goes down and you did like a pretty awesome finish all working together. Even Amelia, who you don't know, like you actually worked pretty well together there, against the last one, it falls pretty quiet. Aside from the occasional groans of pain from people who aren't quite dead.
Melody immediately trots over to Sid, puts her hands on his cheeks, and casts.
Which cheeks?
Both? Oh.
Yeah, both.
Invigorating! Okay.
Awesome.
For fuck's sake.
Thank you. So as soon as you do that, Sid looks to you and he's like, as you approach him, he's like, are you okay, Mela? Oh. Thank you, Melody. I appreciate that.
I imagine druidic healing always feels nice and warm, like one of those heat packs when you're in a cold day. Always like... Ooh.
I bet it's itchy as balls. It's the holy healing that feels real good. Druidic is like,
the holy just feels cold and distant.
Well, it depends who it's coming from, I guess.
Ollie, the owner of the inn who was like dragged over. Can I check to see if...
She is alive but injured. There are a few people who are alive but injured. Like 5 of the 15 people in this tavern. So like a third of people who are alive but injured.
I will start crafting a healing elixir.
Awesome.
Taking out a small vial.
Yeah.
And kind of like swirling the liquid around like when it slowly turns colors.
Sweet, and you give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
She drinks it, thankfully, not knowing that it's a magical healing thing, but immediately her wounds start to sort of fix enough that she can kind of stand up and say, "Oh, thank you, I have no idea what just happened. Oh, we've got to tend to the others."
Oh, yeah, I would cast my last 2 healing words on anyone in the bar who's...
the only other person of note who's still alive was the human from that table, who is... You cast healing words, and he sort of comes back. He was unconscious, and is pretty broken up over his friends dying. So...
I mean, I'm trained in medicine. I could lend aid, Ollie, to whoever you think is the best people
considering you're trained in medicine, you are just patching up people over the period
Not good.
Okay. You're not trained?
He's not
I'm trained, but that gets me to a 1.
Okay.
Like,
you are helping patch people up. It's not the best. Like, you're helping patch up the guy who's like beside his like friends like crying. You're like, "Can I have that?" Yep.
You're putting like as the price plasters on gashes.
You know he didn't understand any of that.
It's just like the keg.
You're putting
you know,
band-aids.
It's like the human guy's like,
plastic
"My
adhesive
friend's
bandages."
dead," and he's like, "But you're alive."
Yeah, it's the bedside manner that really makes Sid
No, he's
not a
got
good
a 14
doctor.
charisma. His bedside manner is fine, and he can properly diagnose things. He just doesn't know how to treat them.
I can respect that. I can respect that as a doctor. So yeah, I'll say more or less the people who have medical abilities, you do treat the people who are alive, help them stabilize more or less. Yeah, they're going to need like proper medical treatment, but you're probably going to be on your way before that's really important. I mean, the most important person from a real grander scheme perspective is the tavern keeper, who you heal with a healing elixir, who is more or less full health again, actually. So, good. They do like... Do you know what that was? They weren't regular bandits.
Well, actually...
Unnatural, not living. Strange.
We have heard a tale of bandits of this sort, but we weren't expecting to find them so far north. Do note, I'm going to pick up my dagger while I'm talking.
Yeah.
They are called Deathless, and there are several factions, one of which is a banditry faction.
Oh, organized undead turning to bandits. I thought the world was fucked up as it was.
Wait a second. These are undead things. Oh golly, I wish I had known that. I'm actually really good at combat and undead things. I just thought they were really ugly.
Oh yes, sure you are, Sid.
No, I really am.
Oh yes, you are.
Prove it.
I'm not really that worried about it. Zero commitment.
We going seek out more not living things. Sid
Oh.
gets chance to show this.
Yeah, if he wants to.
Hopefully we won't be fighting them, when we walk into a camp of, let's say, 300 of them.
These things unnatural. Wait,
Maybe,
killing.
yeah, Melody, probably best not to say that when we're around them.
They're dead. They're all
Nods
dead.
slowly at that.
No, not in this
So
particular
you,
room.
yeah,
Ollie.
okay, I get. Sorry. Sometimes Gilwyn's not as forward thinking like that.
Well, no sense in letting anything go to waste. Should we see whether they have anything on them?
Melody immediately starts going and rummaging through corpses.
Melody gets it. She's pragmatic. Vale's gonna go get started.
Okay,
as well.
so
The thing is that Melody wouldn't take any coins or anything.
You
She
just,
would
like,
be
take the
taking things of
stuff.
practical value.
the
yeah.
armor and the weapons and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Amelia would turn to the innkeep and say, "If you're willing and if you have the coin, I can place wards for the night or more permanent solutions that are a little more expensive."
Do these people attack again?
They
They
might.
don't raise again, do they? They're dead, but they walk. They don't get back up, do they? And she looks to Vale, who apparently knew everything.
Not once you've killed them. Again.
That joke gives her no comfort. She's like, yes, please. How much will it be?
Well, the alarms are going to cost 10 gold, a silver piece, and a copper each. I can put more permanent arcane locks, but those are more expensive at 90 gold.
Alarms will do.
Excuse me.
Alarms will only last for the night.
Amelia. Listen, I'm all for you turning profit and making a business here, but he's got a room full of corpses. Do you think perhaps either, offer the services for an extreme discount or free, at least for today, and then turn a profit tomorrow?
Yeah.
When the bodies are gone?
As Sid would start saying that, I would actually walk over to Amelia and give her 50 gold and be like, "Don't charge them."
Again,
components
tomorrow, I get it,
Costs
but
me money to go out and purchase. You realize
Yeah, but this cost them lives
I
today.
physically can't cast the spells without them.
Well, that's fine. I'll pay whatever you need. Just don't charge these people.
The potion was 25 gold as well.
Oh, no. Gil. No. Do not let her do that to you. She chose to feed the potion to the innkeep, and now she has to deal with the consequences.
can I see that vial?
Of course. I'll hand it to you. You would actually probably be familiar with this guy because they're alchemist equipment.
Yep. So I'm just curious if the potion is a healing elixir, the spell.
Healing
Or if
elixir of the
it's-
spell.
Yeah, which means it's actually free to do.
Oh.
And I'm like,
That's not true.
healing elixir? It does has no.
It is
has
free.
No, it
I
is
would
free
say
to-
But the
I
the
charge.
skill.
Yeah.
double the amount of the consumed cost and
Uh-huh.
10% of the non-consumed cost.
100% understand what you're saying. I'm all for profit. I'm literally an engineer and an artificer. I'm just saying, we don't really know each other very well. I think this is why we're the opposite side of a deal. Today is not that day. Or at least this bar is not that bar.
No.
Well, this bar's a graveyard. Graveyard. So
Which means no profit to be spending on...
listen, my time is valuable. I can take it elsewhere.
And I give up the argument at that. I'm just like, uh-huh. And I'll go over and just keep poking holes.
Also, I don't clean up bodies.
Yeah, of course not.
I'll look at Vale and go,
Neither do I. I don't know.
and just walk away.
So, while this conversation's going on, Melody and Vale looting the bodies, Melody taking anything of physical value, Vale taking anything of commercial value. Vale, you end up getting actually quite a lot. You get 41 gold off them. It's not all in gold. It's a mixture of old Lich Vale coins and Northern coins. But you can convert it to gold. Melody, each one of them had black studded leather armor. It's a little weird. You know how you sometimes can get those trousers that have unzippable parts to become shorts? All of the joints have that. Not with a zip though, with a bunch of like hooks. So like parts can get removed. It's a sort of thing where these are clearly handmade, like pretty shoddily made armors, but they're all the same more or less, as if it all came from the same place. They're all dyed black. They're all fairly defensive. That sort of thing. And they had a selection of hand axes and maces. So if any of you want a hand axe or a mace, you can just pick one up.
If it's studded leather, Melody would immediately start, because she would recognize that this is slightly better than her current leather armor. She would immediately start taking off her leather armor in the middle of the
Just
bar.
start getting naked.
Clothes on, but she'd have clothes on, but she would immediately start taking the leather armor off.
Fair
and
enough.
dump it somewhere.
Considering that a lot of these were like really tough bandit warriors, you absolutely can find one that fits more or less exactly how you want it. The dog's okay though. Didn't need a healing elixir for that. So you can get like armor that fits exactly perfectly for you.
Cool.
Which is great. And you look kind of like a bandit or a thief now, because they're the people who wear black studded leather armor. It's just the way of things.
Sid, are you able to quickly die? I'm concerned that gives the wrong message.
I don't exactly know what you mean by quickly die.
Dye the armor
Oh.
with colour.
Yeah, well, what color are you looking for?
Melody, what's your green? Melody, do you like green?
I think my dog heard Aaron's dog.
Yeah. Eric's home.
Oh, because my brother came
Yeah.
home. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Melody likes green.
Oh,
Green.
Gotcha. Green.
I would like to clarify that your moral quandaries don't extend to grave robbing.
Mine?
I just want to understand.
Oh,
You
listen,
said,
I think that's pretty gross too. But
Yeah.
I'm not the one picking the pockets, am I?
No.
I mean, it's not really grave robbing. They all have graves. They've left them.
Ah.
He's not wrong.
I'll do one of these, like.
Stealing from corpses is fine, but me applying my job is not.
I listen.
Not when
Again,
they're mourning their friends.
I just think it's time and a place.
Not my
But
friend.
hey, listen, you make your money. I really don't care that much. I thought maybe you just forgot the moment, but you do you.
Oh no, people pay more when they're grieving.
That is rather fair. I mean, I won't lie. There were some of the greatest contracts that I've been able to receive to fund my research were by people who are rather upset at the moment from recent circumstances. You make a valid point, and I think I'm going to apologize. I apologize for my judgment of your attempt at a transaction there. I would have gone about it a little bit differently. But hey, listen, if it's effective, you have at
I
it.
accept your apology.
The funny thing about that is like Gilwyn and Vale are like in a stunned silence, and Sid is like, "Oh no, I apologize." Like just turned himself around. Like Gilwyn's probably standing there like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
But more to the point. Green, yes, that's totally an option. The trick to getting the proper green armor though is the right kind of dirt. You need to draw the natural earthy tones from the correct kind of dirt. I'll keep an eye open for that. Do you need it soon or?
As soon as we can, I think. Probably,
Okay.
but there's no great need.
So if there's no rush on, if I can kind of just work on it as I go, then I'll have it for you as soon as I can. Other than that, no problem.
Yes.
Melody,
Hey.
Melody
Fine.
wanders over to Gil, seeing him looking like that, and just goes, "People die. It's natural."
So are we staying here for the night? I need to know where I'm going to set up these wards.
Well, why don't you set up the wards here, and we will stay here for the night as a camp, as it's no longer a functioning tavern. And that way you can do it free of charge as
How is
part
it
of
not a
our
functioning
protection.
tavern? What's wrong
It
with
is not a functioning tavern tonight. You can set
Amelia
it
will
up
charge.
as if it is a campsite, and then you don't have to charge the people, no? That way you don't have to worry about the profit. It's part of the job, looking after Kim.
Amelia doesn't look happy with that logic, but doesn't argue against it either.
I'll ask the innkeeper if there's a place I can use as a workshop.
She kind of like yes in the end and suggests to sell her.
Okay, if they offer a place I can use as a workshop just to get some work done tonight, I will throw 15 gold onto the bar to cover the costs of using the workshop for the evening, and be happy with it.
Tinker away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And actually, that'd be a good place to camp because the top floor isn't super secure right now. So you Amelia does the arcane wards. The alarm, not arcane ward, but you know what I mean. What are the rest of yous doing? As it truly sets in night now.
I'm just
Moon
going
is
to
up.
Moon is up.
going to help. I guess the people who are alive, including the innkeeper, are taking the patrons outside.
The
dead
yes.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both,
I'll be helping.
but
with
they
that.
are like literally burying, like doing a bit of a graves outside, and most of it's like it's a tavern. You don't know most of the people, but they're still giving a little bit of respect. Gilwin, give me a religion roll real quick. The little bit of like scripture or whatever that they say is definitely not the religion of Pelor that comes from Goldport. You don't know what it is. But it's not like so different that you would like really pay attention to it. It's just something you slightly notice.
Yeah.
So you help them bury the dead.
Yeah.
Vale?
Melody would actually. I actually have something to role play in this bit because Melody would be helping Gil, and at some point would say, Gil, flame-kissed maiden, you sad when singing. This woman, Gil's friend.
Yeah.
Roger
Kind of
Brown.
Kind of an important friend, really. Do you know? Has Raj ever just gone for a while without explanation?
Not long periods.
Imagine if that happened.
Melody frowns. Is like,
Yeah. Thankfully, I had Vale. And thankfully, Vale had me.
Melody understands, and she just sort of she just puts an arm around Gil. It's like in best comfort she knows, sort of thing.
I'll do the same.
Vale, are
Vale's
you helping out?
He's gonna go find the innkeep.
Yeah, well, you easily can. She's trying to clean.
Amelia would also be talking to the innkeep. finding
Sure.
information from her.
What do you want to talk about, you two?
So, who did you piss off lately?
This is Stableside. We're neutral to wars. We're neutral to everything. We just make horses, more or less.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, you said they
They
were
were
bandits.
No, they were hired. They said as
No.
much.
They are not hired so much as, from what we understand, they simply act as a bandits functioning from a camp. If they may have been hired in terms of their boss told them to come here, I hear that Stableside has very good horses. Perhaps they were after some of the gold that creates.
You might have stole some of the horses, but I'll have to talk with the actual ranchers about that.
The exact words were, "We don't get paid enough to deal with mages."
Well,
She makes a good point.
Go ahead and give me a retroactive insight roll, so you have disadvantage. Retroactive. It's actually okay.
Yeah, not bad.
The more you think about it, because you don't know, you don't know as much about Deadless as these guys, but you do know of them, which is why you're not super surprised by this, and you're not immediately going, "What were they?" Because you've heard of them. It would some bandit troops. You basically go back and you give a sort of a portion of what you capture, which might be what they were referring to, but also they might have been paid. You really couldn't tell. And also, even if they were a bandit group, sometimes people hire bandits to do something, because if a bandit does it, it's bandits. You know, if a mercenary group does it, it's arson. So you could be suspicious in all kinds of directions.
She doesn't say anything more than that. She just makes her suspicions kind of clear.
I was going to suggest that if you and your people wanted to sleep in the tavern tonight, if you make me up somewhere comfy to sit, I can keep watch for the evening.
Oh, you're an elf, aren't you? Yeah. And she kind of like finds one of the chairs that is the least blood splattered or zombie coated or attacked during this whole thing, or doesn't even have food on it. Like the one like clean chair, and like kind of like cleans it up even more, and sort of like they would have moved all the tables to the side at the very least, and just kind of like sets it. So
as she does that, he goes, "I'm not an elf. I'm a sun elf. Erevel Valinair. Remember the name."
Oh, yeah, and she kind of looks at someone else like.
All elves are the same.
You wouldn't know. And then he sits down stoically.
While Amelia's saying this that way, she is working on like the arcane like
That makes sense,
alarms. So she has like she would have been cool. She takes out like her purse and she kind of lays it flat on the ground, and she reaches down inside of it, like her arm just like totally disappears into what is obviously like an extra dimensional space. Like pulls out like chalk and stuff like that, and she starts describing the runes on the door frames.
It's pretty cool. Vale's not seen anything like that. I mean, you know that Sid has a bag of holding, but that was probably a bit of a surprise.
Sid did come out a backpack on our first meeting.
Yes.
But I wasn't really expecting just an arm to go.
just disappears, just gones. So yeah, you could do that by the end, or by the time the rest of you get to sleep. You know, the tavern is sorted enough. They're burning the undead, and they've buried or at least put aside the rest of the people. They might have a couple of people they need to bury later. But yeah, they can prepare, and you can sleep actually in the basement, which is a lot more secure. And Vale trances outside, so he can keep watch. Vale, give me a perception check.
Bad.
Okay.
He's a luck point on that.
You don't have luck.
I know.
You naughty, naughty boy.
We should have had Sally sit watch.
Probably.
Passive perception 4.
God, that's horrific.
It is real bad. So yeah, you watch a little bit outside the tavern,
My
but
passive
mostly you
perception
sit
is
here.
actually 10. It's actually higher than that as well. Critically.
Your passive should be 15, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't
It's
know why
8
it says
plus.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you don't notice anything going on. You are fairly secure. You're fairly safe that this place is secure, so everyone inside is safe. Good. In the morning, do you like take a rounds around the place just to like double check while people are waking up?
Yeah, why not?
Give me another perception check.
I'm interested to see whether any of these horses are gone as well.
Well, I mean, the way that this place is, it's like there's a tavern, and then there's the
Yeah.
several buildings of the village, which almost make up the ranch, and it's a huge expanse.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it's a ranch if someone told you, because there's like a fence.
Yeah.
This goes for a long time, because it's a wild horse ranch, which is the whole point, which makes the best war horses, because they have a fight in them. Your second perception, you notice that, like, almost directly outside the tavern, like, maybe 10 feet away, there's fresh horse prints leaving. And it's not like they came down. You actually can see that they went up. And then they went up from where you assume the Deadless came, which was the south. And then they left again. So they like kind of turned in place. And you don't know if they were there before, but they kind of look pretty fresh. Like last few hours or something.
Can I follow them to the edge of the town?
Absolutely. I mean, you can follow them to the edge of the
go
town.
anywhere?
They just
your artificer for help first.
Or get Melody.
Well, you can follow them to the edge of the town because you're sort of doing this while people are waking up. And the edge of the town isn't very far away, so you follow them for like a couple of steps, more or less, and you can tell that your tracks actually keep going, and they're pretty obvious. This horse was heavy. Like, this isn't actually a hard track to follow, more or less, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna head back then. Mention what I have noticed to the others.
Melody.
During this, the innkeeper does actually make you guys breakfast, but it's very simple. Like, just something, just like some porridge or something, just because you helped out, and she's not going to charge you.
Simple like plain or simple like melody?
Simple like plain. Oh, hush. NPCs can see it, PCs can't. Or say it.
They want to follow these tracks?
Unfortunately, we have a job to do at the moment. We have to get Kim to Lichvale.
It's going down the road to Lichvale.
Oh, it's going down the road.
It goes south. There's more or less only one road. For this kind of village, there would be other tracks off, but the main road south, the set road to Lichvale, which is more or less a pretty well-maintained old road, it's going that way.
We can follow the tracks for a way, but unfortunately, we are heading to Lichvale, and we cannot change course if needs be. So we can see whether it heads there or elsewhere, but we have to stay on the track to Lichvale.
Melody just nods at that.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to be following tracks, I can certainly give you a little assistance in that. I've got here a spyglass or something like that. I'm sure I can make some adjustments to and allow it to assist you in following those tracks.
Melody, good with tracks. We follow easily.
I will make you just a hair better than you already are. How's that sound?
Yes, you guys can deal with looking at the ground all day.
+1 AC to your armor veil.
Sweet.
And Melody, that is the same one I've done 1,000 times before. Where I give you the plus. I give you advantage on the roll.
Survival.
I was going to just use one of my own spells to give myself advantage, but that works as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let the artificer use their spell slots. It's what they're for.
Yeah, sure.
+1 to AC.
Yeah.
Anything for me, Sid?
What?
No,
Oh, you know, I would love to get something for you, but I'm feeling a little gray today. I hope that's all white.
Well, the day's not over yet,
I'll actually do one of those. Like, no, really though, no.
No.
All right, you dicks. I'll walk away.
And so, I assume you follow those tracks. They're going the way you're going.
Yep, let's go get our horses.
Does
from the
Amelia
stable.
have anything to say about this? You just watch them like tell bad jokes for like a couple of minutes before they leave.
No. And she'll just kind of like shake her head at that.
I can imagine that alongside that there was just like a.
As long as they're heading in the right direction.
They are. So you're basically going down the main road, but you're also following the tracks in case they veer off. And you can tell. You can tell. Melody is this horse was going a long way. It was tired, and also it was wearing armor, which is why its things are so heavy. It's got barding of some kind. You don't know what, but it was weighed down significantly. And it seems like it was traveling a while. Like you probably spend the first day of travel, and it's just there are the tracks, and they're quite easy to follow because the person left assumedly a couple of hours before you woke up. So the tracks are still fresh, because basically as long as you're going, they're still a couple of hours old. Bear in mind that person's going faster because they're on a horse, and the horse was going at top speed, more or less. So, you will sort of lose them by the end of the second day of traveling, but not so much that you can't make another survival roll to check them when I say... Like, you can follow the tracks, but when they do veer off, you'll have to make another check to follow them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they will be faded so much. For the most part, the travel to Lichvale is... it's mostly clear. You leave Stableside behind, and you're probably on edge for that first day, maybe 2, maybe 3, actually. And it's the end of that 4th day, you come to a place that is not on the map, because, you know, the way I do the maps, I fill things in as they come appropriate. You have definitely crossed the border, if that makes sense, into Lichvale territory, although all of you... Well, Sid doesn't know. Melody doesn't know. Some of you know that Lichvale isn't really part of Goldport anymore after it died, and Goldport didn't help them.
I would know that, surely.
Yeah, you would definitely know that, and Vale would know that because you've been researching it, and Gillen told him, and Amelia knows it because she's been researching it. Because Lichvale is a city that's being rebuilt by the highest bidder, basically now. It's not part of the Kingdom of Goldport, but it's still on the maps because the maps are antiquated and things, and you wouldn't know where to draw the new border because it's not that official. But yeah, it's almost its own little place. So you travel until you reach an area outside of Lichvale, which you travel through in the main road. The main road to Lichvale gets noticeably more and more faded as you get there. And actually on this day of travel, you notice that you think it's just a really overcast day. And it sort of makes sense because it is starting to become autumn while you're traveling. But no, the grass just slowly fades from sort of lush and beautiful to just grey. It's growing, and actually all the plants are growing. But they're grey. They're lots of different tones of grey, but they're just this muted grey, all the life sucked out of them. So, you probably continue traveling, but it's horrible. And when
do the flowers here come back to life as, like, undead flowers too?
They're alive and they're grey.
So, yes, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, Melody would be unnerved. Yeah, you would know this, Sid, because you
I'd
probably
be like
asked that.
furiously taking notes. Sorry.
And because you would know from what you've been talked about maybe you mentioned this, and so maybe Amelia's like, yeah, the event took place 2 years ago or so. So it's a new bloom, and it's great. The road goes through, and the road is significantly less maintained out here. And it not only was just less maintained, it was just worse made in the first place. And it goes through a forest where all the trees all the leaves are grey and muted and wilted and died out. Even the pine trees. And you probably like look in just sort of at the entrance of the forest. There's actually like a bit of a archway above that says like Lichvale in X miles. What it would say is like Lichvale 3 days travel. As well as the miles, but I never work out the miles because fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't play Pathfinder. I play D&D 5e. So
isn't it 24 a day? So it's a 70.
Yeah, something like that.
Too.
But what you notice is that the tracks you were following, Melody, veered off just sort of before entering the forest. While you're like sort of staring down into the dark, muted forest, you notice that. So if you want to continue following, I know the plan is not to follow them, but you can maybe discuss it again now, or maybe you just like, we are not following those tracks. Up to you.
Well, she would definitely be like, tracks go other way.
We go westward.
Following?
We have a job to do still, I think. As much as
really
it would
turn off now. No, if we make a note in our map of where this is, the general direction, we could perhaps pop back if we want something to fill our time with.
It'd be easy to find this place again. The tracks are faded as they are.
Yeah, the tracks.
Yeah, you wouldn't know where to go. You'd know to go west from this place, which is not the worst idea.
Yeah. Tracks fade if we come back. But if you say no to follow,
we have to get Kim
understands.
to Lichvale. Points at Kim.
She's like, oh, yeah, I would like that, yes. Hopefully we don't, because I'm, if we follow those tracks, might be more zombies.
Do not worry.
I don't really want to deal with more zombies.
Won't be following any tracks. They are called deathless, though, not zombies.
Oh, is there
Sorry.
like a decent sized boulder or rock or something like that nearby? Like,
Yep.
like a very obvious one.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go up to one of those and cast damage integrity on it, which I thought I clicked, but either Roll20 is lagging or
Roll20 is
I
laggy,
didn't click, so
but
I'll
we
try
know damage integrity, artificer magic-y damagey spell.
again. Yep. So I go up to the thing and I just cast damage integrity on it, just to, like shatter a rock, and it's very obviously been shattered like recently.
It's like you
in this
put your
very
hand on it
weird
and the
way.
cracks go out from around the hand. So it's very obvious that I was here.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, this will be our marker, so we know exactly where to turn off. Is this good enough for us to find our way back if need be? Looking to Vale.
I think so. If we come soon enough, then who knows? We may find some tracks, but let us not worry about it for now. We dealt with the problem in Stableside, and our friend here won't be pleased if we talk about this for much longer, I imagine.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if Service of the Smile gets us a bigger tip, but we can certainly at least continue on while we continue talking.
That's actually quite the clever little spell you have there. How do you cast it?
I don't cast.
Oh?
I infuse. It's a gnomish trick. I gladly go over it sometime with you.
It's like peeing with magic. And Vale starts leading Gabby.
Amelia
literally one of those-
totally
Vale
ignores
starts
him.
laughing at his own joke.
Totally ignores him.
All right, and I think with that, that's the end of today. That was pretty sweet, wasn't it? We had a
The
little
end
bit
of
of
days.
everything. We had a little bit of fighting. We had a little bit of roleplay. We have a new character over here
Yay.
who adds to the moral quandaries of this party, which aren't really moral quandaries.
Yeah,
They're
that was good
more,
fun.
should we be paid for this? It's like most parties are like, should we resurrect this person? And we're just like, should we get paid? I think we should get paid. Should we get paid? Like, that's what this party is.
Oh,
Which is important.
Well, all Bill's comments made was like, oh, I can't just hand out potions now.
Yeah, well, the thing about this is
I have
that,
to
like,
negotiate payment first.
Vale, the whole thing is like, most adventuring parties are like, oh, we wish we got money for this. This party does. So, it's okay. So, also a big thank you to all the cheers, to the we had at least one subscription. You're good peeps. It makes me happy. It makes some of them happy. Doesn't make Dean happy, because Dean is only made happy when he works with Mathis. So, why don't we talk with the circle, the new first person on the circle of love is Aaron. Aaron, who are you? What do you do? All of that.
Hi. I'm Aaron. I play D&D. And I play here on Wednesdays, and I play on Scott's channel also Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yay! Yeah, we're on a Friday Eberron show, and it's good. It's very juicy at the moment. Like, it's been consistently juicy for like 4 weeks, which never happens.
I play more of an asshole in that game.
Yeah, no. If you think Amelia's like an ass, Kieran is.
Amelia's not
worse.
an ass. Amelia's not an
No.
ass.
Amelia's a
She-
shrewd
Amelia's
businesswoman.
pragmatic.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
pragmatic.
She has stringent rules, sticks to them, and they benefit her. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Lawful evil. I gotcha.
Speaking of lawful evil, Neil, who are you? What do you do? You don't do much.
I do a lot. Which is why I'm sometimes not here.
That's true.
I play D&D with Ian, not as much as I would like, on Mondays, and Ollie on Mondays.
We've been missing you the past
I know.
several weeks.
I
It's
know.
been
They've been going
terrible.
on a quest. He usually leads the Monday game, but he hasn't been here for like an entire quest line, which means Ian's been leading it, and it's been very different. Very interesting.
Ian's my protege though in that party. As
Well,
the
I
second...
nearly got Ballbreaker killed last
did
week.
you? Oh.
so.
Oh no, don't tell me about it now. Anyway, yes, I play D&D with Ollie and Ian a couple times a week when I'm not working, and I very much enjoy it. It's good fun. Ollie, Dean, Scott, even they all work very hard at this business of streaming. So yeah, that's me. I'm just gonna say that they're good. They work really hard. All your cheers and subscriptions are really good because it supports them to make nice content like this for you.
Speaking of cheers, the only one I want to cheer is Dean. Dean, who are you? What
Yeah,
do you do?
you 10 face.
What? Oh, yeah, I literally did in like less than 3 minutes. Look, I insult and I love. That's how I am.
Dean Cutty. Any website, anywhere.
Cutty.
Dean Cutty. Dean Cutty.
It doesn't
Dean
sound right when
Cutty.
you pronounce the T's though.
Dean Cutty. No, it doesn't.
Dean Cutty sounds
No.
right.
Dean
It's like
Cutty is my
one
brand.
sound.
Dean
It's
Cutty.
one syllable.
You know what you should do? You should create a cookbook called Dean Curry.
Or Dean Cookie. But Dean Curry's better.
Yeah.
I've got a cookbook coming out soon. It's going to be called Dean Curry. But next week there will be a Judge Mathis on youtube.com/Judge Mathis where I edit my hands into silly poses and do funny jokes while Mathis talks about old games. So there's that. And that's me.
Speaking about me, someone else who is me, Arvine.
I was not aware that I am
Well, you are me to you.
Listen, once
Get
you've
me?
been inside somebody, you're the same person.
Yeah, once you've melded,
works.
you shared consciousness.
Yeah,
That's not what I was
it's
saying,
All,
but
it's
okay.
all very. This is all camera tricks. This is all camera tricks. Very clever camera tricks.
You're just
basically.
a very elaborate sock puppet.
Yeah.
Mary Kate and Ashley, they're just one person, moving back and forth really quickly.
Yeah, that about sums me up. No, I'm random person from Ollie's other game, as Neil has already mentioned. So I'm not much use to follow or contact, but if you want to see random anime tweets,
Excellent weeb content on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Our resident community weeb.
yeah,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or if you want to ask questions about Jarviskjir, about Melody, about any of my other, because I've got 3 characters on this world, or 4 characters. on
More
this
now. As the longer side quests go, the more it'll...
Yeah, I'm just gradually accumulating random characters in this
Oh,
world.
aren't we all?
So
No,
yeah,
no, he's just going to eventually have every one of those characters do enough side quests to become the ruler of the different lands, and he's going to take over your country.
eventually, there's going to be a week where I'm the only person here, and I play an entire 4-person party.
I kind of want to do that. That'd be really funny.
You have to have a different hat for each character
Yeah.
and like turn off the different cameras.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me just give you a taste of Ian's Twitter, by the way. Just a random selection.
Oh God, what are you doing?
I don't think you necessarily we want to do that.
In all caps.
I like
Grandpa has a sprite in the fan disc.
That is technobabble. So you could have that in Star Trek,
That
and
is-
I wouldn't bat an eye.
I
That
like
is
this
literally
section.
how B. Arthur roasted Pamela Anderson. Was all she did was read passages, random passages from her book, and it was like that's all she did to roast her. She literally just opened Pamela Anderson's book and read random passages. And I was
That's
like,
funny.
perfect.
Speaking about
You know,
random
Scott, did you
passages,
Follow me. Well done.
Scott, who are you? How do you do?
How do I do? Ah, God, you don't want to know. It's complicated.
Who
But
do you voodoo bitch?
Is that why
I
you've been
do
playing
things
that
in
night?
places. Just Google Delric and you'll find me, or at Lost Initiative, or just join the Discord and listen to me
Join the
just talk way
Discord.
too much.
Yeah,
Our
join
community
the
Discord, because we're partners.
Yay! I hate
So
partners.
we have a Discord
Why don't
together.
you look at me when we play games?
I don't. I'm
Yeah,
always
just-
looking
just
slightly
Google.
to this. I'm never looking you directly in the
Because you're
eye.
always looking at the other screen, not paying attention, Scott. That's why.
I'm paying for this screen is actually where I have several things, including Roll20. But here is my character sheet, the Twitch chat, and the. Yeah, anyways, it's a lot of
There's a
stuff.
picture of me on the right screen, isn't there?
Actually,
I have a picture of me on my right screen right now. A
I
picture
do
of
have
you
both
on
my
my right
screens,
screen right
actually.
now. Someone's
Yeah.
been
I
sending me
should do
pictures
up
of your
here, too.
face.
Yeah,
I should have you on all 3 of my screens, just so it's just all Neil all
I'd
day.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
But the
Yeah.
funny thing
I'm
is
gonna do that,
it
and I'm
might
gonna take a
catch in your
picture of it.
glasses and then be tiny Neils.
Yeah.
Anyway, me,
It's like
I'm
etched in
Ollie.
laser etched
I'm Ollie.
yes.
I do this stream. I also do the Mass Effect stream beforehand on Scott's channel. I also
He's
do the
part of
Friday Eberron stream where I play a necromancer who is currently drinking himself to death, and it's great because he's
The
sassy
racist
about
is
it.
not good.
I also do art streams on Fridays and Tuesdays, where when the art stream is done, I play The Sims. And I also play Mario Odyssey on Sundays. And that's really good. And that's about
Art
it.
stream is a good fun chill time.
Yeah,
Yes, spare
all of
time.
my stuff is fun and chill, relax, listen it to the background while you cook,
Except
while
Dark Souls.
you do anything. Well, I don't play Dark Souls anymore.
We don't talk. About
We don't
Dark
talk
Souls.
about Dark Souls unless I, for some godforsaken reason, decide to do Dark Souls 3. Apparently, I'm skipping 2. I don't know. Who knows? That's what I've been told to do. Anyway, that's us. We should be back at a regular time which is the normal time, next week. I don't think there's any issues. So thank you again for all the cheers and subscriptions and all that good stuff. And we'll be with you next time. Bye. Say goodbye, kids at home.
Goodbye, kids at home.
Oh my god, such a weeby peace out.